No, it's not gonna be 4, I got all this to go through here.
Okay, and Sharon, you want to?
I can do the public first. We never do that. I'm not gonna start that. No. All right, Madam Clerk.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6, and 6. Notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and is posted on the municipal bulletin board.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Mayor LaBrus.
Here, everybody please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You. There are no proclamations this evening, though we do have quite a lengthy agenda. You'll be able to get through this, Ms. Clerk, what's that? Approval of the minutes, okay.
July 10th.
I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular cow and executive session of July 10th, 2023.
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Okay, with that, go right to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Our summer concert series only has 2 performances left. Be sure to check out our schedule and join us on August 15th and August 22nd. Our Sounds of Summer mini concert series comes to a close on August 18th with Classic Rock Night in Atlantic Street Park. Everyone is welcome. Please be advised that our recent movie Under the Stars from August 10th has been rescheduled to September 7th. We were unable to move that into the Hackensack because there was another event going on, so we had to reschedule that one. Our senior summer luncheon is scheduled for August 30th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Recreation Center. Tickets are limited, so please sign up soon. They're going very fast. And last but not least, I want to wish everyone an enjoyable few weeks of summer that is left and have a great start to the new school year.
What was canceled because Hackensack was busy?
The movie Under the Stars,
Okay.
yeah, it was scheduled for August 10th. We rescheduled it to September 7th. We couldn't move it inside.
The camp show is happening.
What?
The camp show is happening.
Yeah, the camp show.
Can't show, okay. So that's it?
That's it.
All right, resolution 290-23.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 31-2023. The ordinance authorizing the financial agreement for market rate residential apartment expansion project on block 303, lot 14, 19 Mercer Street by Mercer Urban Renewal Development LLC, an urban renewal entity pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law NJSA 40A:20-1 at SEC. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anybody who'd like to speak to ordinance resolution 290-23 and only resolution 290-23, please come forward. Seeing no members from the public, motion to close.
Welcome.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Welcome. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 31-2023 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 291-23.
This is final adoption for ordinance number 32-2023, an ordinance to amend and update chapter 32 of the Code of the City of Hackensack Police Department with respect to the departmental table of organization and related matters. This ordinance has been published
motion, please? Are we tabling this?
Table. Supposed to be table.
I thought we were doing.
No, we're gonna table this. Yeah, motion to need a motion to table this ordinance.
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
That was a motion to table ordinance 32-2023.
Correct, in the next meeting. Resolution 292-23.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 33-2023, an ordinance to amend chapter 44 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, abandoned and nuisance properties, and specifically Article 4, vacant and abandoned properties registration, in compliance with new legislation establishing additional requirements for foreclosed vacant and abandoned properties. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anyone who'd like to speak to ordinance 33-2023 and only ordinance 33-2023, please come forward. Seeing no members of the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 33-2023 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Resolution 293-23.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 34-2023, an ordinance amending an ordinance to confirm the perfection of the vacation of Caruso Street in the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey.
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 34-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 5th, 2023 at 8:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 294-23.
This is a resolution concurring with planning board's redevelopment investigation findings regarding block 405, lots 3 and 14, and block 406, lots 1.03, and designating block 405, lot 3, the Sears site, as an area in need of redevelopment for non-condemnation purposes.
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 295-23.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 35-2023, an ordinance establishing fair market value for properties located upon block 315, lots 14, 15, and formerly lots 15 through 18, 21, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.02, 30.01, 30.02, formerly lots 29.02 and 30.02, and 31, a portion of current lot 32.01, in the city of Hackensack, and authorizing acquisition of these properties by purchase or eminent domain for the purpose of redevelopment, including a public parking garage.
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 35-2023 as introduced is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 5th, 2023 at 8:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with the notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 296-23.
This is a resolution designating redeveloper and authorizing redevelopment agreement with 359 Main Street Partners LLC for the redevelopment of Block 408, Lot 1, 359-365 Main Street, and Block 408, Lot 16, 375 Main Street, pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law.
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 297-23.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 36-2023, an ordinance authorizing financial agreement with 359 Main Street Partners LLC, an urban renewal entity authorized pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law, NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec, the development of a market rate residential apartment project upon Block 408, lots 1 and 16.
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 36-2023, as introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 5th, 2023, at 8:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 298-23.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 37-2023, an ordinance to amend chapter 141 sewers of the code of the city of Hackensack with respect to procedures established in chapter 141, section 11, for applying for a connection permit to the city's sewer system.
Need a motion?
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 37-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on September 5th, 2023, at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. 299-23.
This is a resolution authorizing tax refunds for state court judgments and duplicate payments.
Need a motion?
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 300-23.
This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hackensack authorizing the settlement of the workers' compensation matter filed by James J. Walker pending in the New Jersey Division of Workers' Compensation, case number 2021-13106.
Hold on. I'm looking at my, okay. Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 301-23.
It's a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hackensack authorizing the settlement of the workers' compensation matter filed by Joseph Harold Summers pending in the New Jersey Division of Workers' Compensation, case number 2021-13533.
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 302-23.
This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hackensack authorizing the settlement of the workers' compensation matter filed by Daniel Hanrahan pending in the New Jersey Division of
Need a motion, please?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 303-23.
This is a resolution of the City of Hackensack and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, authorizing city officials to undertake certain actions in connection with the issuance and sale of not to exceed $17,808,000 general obligation notes, Series 2023.
Need a motion?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 304-23.
It's a resolution authorizing the tax collector to issue a refund for taxes to Kevin Brown, 100% exempt by the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Need a motion?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 305-23.
It's a resolution authorizing cancellation of tax sale certificates.
Need a motion?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 306-23.
It's a resolution authorizing cancellation of second quarter 2022 taxes for 37 Jackson Avenue due to system error.
Need a motion?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Resolution 307-23.
It's a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hackensack authorizing legal fee reimbursement pursuant to Chapter 14A-3 of the Code of the City of Hackensack.
Need a motion?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. On resolution 308-23, which is the resolution authorizing the payment of bills, I'm going to abstain on the several bills to Hackensack Meridian Health. Just put that on record, please. Okay, resolution 308-23, need a motion?
Offer. Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent. Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
I vote aye on everything except the several Hackensack Meridian Health bills. Thank you. And with that, we move on to the consent agenda. Thank you folks for bearing with us. I know it's a large agenda tonight. So anybody have any conflicts on the consent agenda? I think you're none, Jerry?
No, I looked it over and I feel there's no conflicts.
Okay, good. And,
Okay.
There you go.
yeah, I think I'm good. Good?
Following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. And consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and limitations. Consent agenda consists of resolutions 309-23, 329-23. Resolution 309-23 is a resolution authorizing extension of leave of absence without pay for any belong. I'm misspelling that one. Keyboard and clerk 2, fire department for 5 weeks. Resolution 310-23 is a resolution authorizing recreation refunds. 311-23 is a resolution authorizing the city of Hackensack to enter into an agreement with the Hackensack Public School District for school nurse services for non-public schools, which would be the Bergen County Christian Academy. Resolution 312-23, the resolution authorizing renewal of liquor licenses for the 2023-2024 license term. Resolution 313-23 is a resolution authorizing person-to-person liquor license transfer from Palcan Inc. to Forte 160 LLC for license number 0223-33-004-008. Resolution 314-23 is a resolution authorizing Class 1 special law enforcement officers to attend Bergen County Institute of Law and Public Safety for training, that's the HCOPS. Resolution 315-23, the resolution authorizing accrued time payout of $162,752.12 to Police Captain Francesco Capullo. Resolution 316-23 is a resolution authorizing accrued time payout of $116,871.80 to Police Sergeant Michael Capone. 317-23 is a resolution authorizing release of escrow funds for 257 Hudson Street. 318-23 is a resolution authorizing release of escrow funds of 259 Kenneth Road. Resolution 319-23 is a resolution qualifying professional service providers and authorizing the mayor to execute contracts with such qualified professionals. Resolution 320-23 is a resolution authorizing award of bid contract for Farmer Park Improvement Project. 321-23, resolution of award of contract for engineering services, Prospect Avenue Pedestrian Safety Project. Resolution 322-23, the resolution authorization for the issuance of requests for proposals for soil testing and laboratory analysis. Resolution 323-23 is the resolution of intent to utilize a national co-op contract for the purchase of 500 IPL 95-gallon refuge containers. Resolution 324-23 is a resolution authorizing for the award of a non-fair and open contract for geotechnical engineering services to Soil Engineering Services, Inc. for Johnson Park. 325-23 is a resolution authorizing change order number 2 to Desmond Design Management for Atlantic Street Parking Garage for Construction Management. Resolution 326-23 is a resolution awarding change order number 1 to Suburban Engineering for engineering analysis and design for FEMA Hazard Mitigation Program Grant HMPG project. Resolution 327-23 is a resolution authorizing bid award contract for intersection improvements at Summit Avenue of Passaic Street, First Street, Beach Street, and First Street and Central Avenue. Resolution 328-23 is a resolution authorizing change order number 1 to Environmental Probing Investigations, Inc. for geophysics and drilling fire headquarters remediation construction phase. And resolution 329-23 is a resolution authorizing endorsement of proposed Bergen County Community Development Grant.
Thank you very much.
Need a motion.
Get some air, need a motion.
Offer. Second.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye, thank you very much, Ken, that was a long one. With that, I need a motion to open back up to the public. Motion, please.
Offer. Second.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent, Deputy Mayor Canestrino is absent, Councilmember Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. And with that, anybody from the public who would like to speak, please come forward, give your name to the clerk, you will have 3 minutes. Thank you.
My name is Sharon DiMonto. I live at 196 Lincoln Street, right next to the house we're speaking of, 125 Willow. Lived there for 52 years. I'm 81, my husband's 90, very sick man. They do not maintain the property now. This guy has owned it since when? I don't know, February, March. There's 4 garbage cans on the side of the house that have not been taken care of for a month. They don't put the garbage out. There's a kiddie swimming pool full of brown water that nobody's touched. Their bushes are way overgrown, so if they don't maintain it now, what's to say they will later? And they came in dishonest, and I can't imagine how this is gonna change anything. They lied right from the beginning. So how's that gonna change? It's the same owners.
I don't disagree with you, ma'am, not at all. The problem is, the state makes the decision on whether this license get issued, not the city. If the city of Hackensack was making this decision, this would probably be a no-brainer.
How they better take a lot into
Based on their past
consideration.
performance.
A lot of neighbors are very
Our
concerned.
issue is, how do we deal with the state of New Jersey, should they issue this license?
No, they
That's
should
our-
not. They should not, in my opinion.
I don't disagree with you, they should not.
No, there's too much against
It
it.
has nothing to do with what the.
Lying right from the beginning, it's not set well
We
with.
agree with that. They lied to us, they lied
Yeah,
to
they
our
lied to everybody.
zoning laws.
They supposedly sold this house to a father who bought it for his daughter and son-in-law. It was gonna be a
Exact
nice
same story
family.
I got the
And
first
that
week I heard
never
about
happened.
it.
Never happened. They were never there.
I have a lot of friends live in your neighborhood, have been all over this, telling me about it.
Wow.
You know,
I know.
We've been on top of it, but we're trying to, we're waiting to see what they do. But your letters are very important.
I mean, if we called the other neighbor who's called DPW, Health Department, about the garbage, and nobody does anything.
I'm gonna bring that to,
Nothing's
city
brought up.
attorney's back in the room.
I mean, they see everybody else's garbage cans out on that day, and nobody, if he still
There's
owns
nobody,
his
there's nobody
property.
living here right now. That's-
I know, but he still owns the
They still have to
property,
maintain the
he
property.
should maintain the
They
property.
have to maintain the property. So I can have the zoning officer, I can have property maintenance go look tomorrow at that to see what's going on,
Okay,
all right?
thank you.
Thank you. Next person in the bucket. Rich, you waited a long time to get here tonight.
John, how are you? It's
Sorry.
Rich Serbo, Hackensack City. It surely is a city now. And look, Spring Valley Avenue has been neglected. We heard tonight that someone's dishes and things in their house are shaking from the traffic. That is sure as hell happening on Spring Valley. When heavy equipment goes down that street and the buses, they are over the weight that's allowed on that block, okay? Those vehicles are weighing just too much to go down that road. Okay, I bet there's damages to foundations. There's gonna be more damage from things under the ground, so get ready for that. And we're gonna file complaints against the city for it too. So Mr. Kleinman can deal with those, all right? So other things, I didn't catch the end of that statement you made before the agenda was read about Hackensack Health. What was that, Joe? Can you repeat what that was?
Hackensack Health,
Yeah, you just said something about Meridian Health, right?
Hackensack Meridian Health.
What about
Because
it?
there were some bills for some, I guess some of our officers go to get physicals at the hospital.
Right,
I don't vote on anything to do with the hospital. So
okay, so you recused
I
yourself, right?
recused myself from voting on the bills.
All right, I missed that. I was watching the scores on my phone, the baseball scores.
How are the Yankees doing anyway?
I don't want, I hate the Yankees, so the Mets are winning, so yeah, well, we don't care about the Yankees, I get that, okay. All right, a couple other things, there's so many things to address here, and you go through an agenda so fast like that, there's so many things to talk about. I don't get this is theater, this is political theater, it's nothing else. And this baloney about the state, oh, they can do what they want. They butter your bread, that's why. So you don't challenge them and say, hey, you can't do that in our town. You won't do that, okay? All these other layers of government too, they work together. You're all giving each other money and you're bribing taxpayers with their own money too. So that's another thing. All right, another important thing I wanted to bring up, and then I'll leave. But I was at the theater to watch the Duprees a couple weeks ago, I guess it was. It was great. I loved it. Okay, but getting out of there seemed a little shaky. Now that's your business. I think you're involved in.
I heard your issues and.
Did you read my email?
Yes, it's, Frank, stop it, Frank. No, we got 12 seconds left anyway.
Okay.
So, what you have to realize, Rich, is there's another exit.
Where?
Right by the stage, there's a big exit door right there. that takes
So
you
why
to the
wasn't it
exit.
open? Why weren't we?
Because
Always
there's
open,
no-
you can push down, you
Anybody
can
can-
plow, in case an emergency.
Most people don't exit the theater that way, and people didn't mind waiting. There's an elevator and a flight of stairs, and then another exit, which they could have used. The building would have never been able to open if it didn't have the correct exiting and egress.
Okay, so at the end of a show, why aren't they,
I find when I go to any theater in New York City, when you go to leave, it takes time to get out. It's just the way it is.
if
But if
something
there's a
goes wrong.
fire, that's a different story. Only exit doors open and everybody runs out.
There's two exit doors at the stage, at the front
There's
of
one
the stage?
exit door,
Right.
stage right, when you're looking at the stage. And then there's the exit door where I saw you. And then there's the elevator, which you don't use in the fire anyway, so.
All right, John, all right.
I don't know whether you're clapping for me or for him this time. I'm telling the public, I don't know whether you're clapping for me or for you this time.
It's clapping for you.
I don't think so. I think you won, Rich. I won the fire thing at the end, I think. Next person from the public who would like to speak. Going once, going twice, come on, you guys waited a long time, don't disappoint us now.
I spoke on behalf of them.
This is the only meeting this month, by the way.
Yes, I know.
Hi, Adam and Alman. I live in Hackensack for about 10 years. My understanding was that the rent increase for apartments is about 4.5%. Now, come to find out, there's actually a little exemption on the ordinance that says anything that was built after 1982.
Well, it's actually 30 years. Am I correct on that? So, sorry. Under the law, under New Jersey law, and this actually was a legal issue in another town that tried to get around this, and they had to pull back on it very quickly because they were going to lose. Under New Jersey law, you cannot put rent control on buildings that are less than 30 years old, assuming that they had a 30-year mortgage, which most of them do at the start of construction. So our ordinance provides that buildings built after 1982 are exempt from rent control. The statute's 30 years, so there are some buildings that theoretically could be under rent control, but it's a very small number of buildings. How old your building is?
Yeah, it's brand new. We just moved actually. We used to live in a very old building and then we just moved to a newer building. It was, I think they started renting it out in 2021, I think.
Yeah, so by law, we cannot, by law, we cannot address that building. As I said, there's a small handful of buildings that theoretically our rent control ordinance could cover. But again, during that time period, there wasn't a lot of development going on in Hackensack. All of the newer buildings are within that 30-year window that the state law says we cannot try and regulate it. And as I said, I believe another town tried to do it, and they passed an ordinance, and they got sued, and they backed down. You know, they didn't even wait for the litigation decision, because the state law is crystal clear that you can't put rent control on it. Now, the one thing that is out there, and this issue is coming up, it actually came up in Hoboken not that long ago, where some building raised the rent like some insane amount, like 50% in a year, and they filed a lawsuit. The tenants filed a lawsuit because there's an argument that if it's unconscionable, you can bring a lawsuit challenging that rent increase. The problem is that there's no specific legal standard as to what unconscionable means. So that case will have to go to court and be decided. So in some circumstances, even a building that is exempt from the rent control law under the state, nothing having to do with us, there can be some legal action that a tenant could take. And what I've advised people when they come up here, because we have had people come up and say, my rent went up X amount, and I'd say, you should talk to legal services in New Jersey and see if you've got a valid case for an unconscionable rent increase, even if there's not a rent control ordinance in place. So, it is unfortunate that, in these newer buildings, they have the lawful right to set the rent so long as, again, it's not unconscionable. And the problem is, to determine that, it requires a judge. You have to go to landlord-tenant court, file a claim, and have that heard by a judge who's going to decide whether it's unconscionable or not.
It is unfortunate because, who knows what it's gonna become, because there's a lot of New York City, investors that came to Hackensack. And I'm just a little worried that's gonna be the next New York City at some point with, it's not really tenant friendly in that case. Not that necessarily you said it's not Hackensack, it's a New Jersey state law, but it's a bit worrisome, going into the future. So, but thank you for that information.
Thank you, Miss. Good time.
Hi, Reverend Davis again. I just have a question referring to what you just asked. So as we have given all of these incentives to the developers to move into Hackensack, are they required to let their prospective tenants know that there's no rent control in the new buildings they're renting?
I doubt that there is a requirement on that. That would not be on the tenants.
no, there's not, they're supposed to put, there is a process where, you know, you can file a letter that says, you know, I'm claiming the exemption from rent control. But in terms of tenant notifications, I'm not aware of any statutory requirement that, that says that. And just so you understand, there is no statewide rent control, right? There's no state law that covers rent control. Rent control is dealt with by municipal ordinance. I believe, last time I checked, I believe there's maybe 50, it's not actually, there's 500 and some odd, 60 municipalities in New Jersey. Yeah, so 570? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I was close. And I want to say, I think, about 50 of them, including Hackensack, have some form of rent control ordinances. So it's not like a standard thing that when a developer builds that they have to provide a notice, because again, it's not covered by a state law.
So as we have all these new buildings that now have no rent stabilization or no laws we can make, you're gonna find that people are gonna move in and they're gonna move out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something, public awareness is valuable in a situation like that.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Councilman, City Manager. Robert Burgos, Hackensack, came up here to discuss the 125 Willow Avenue house. I think we heard a lot about it this evening, which is great. Thank you very much for all the information you provided. I just have a question regarding the limit or the number of these CSLRs that are allowed by the state in a particular neighborhood. Our neighborhood has actually seen a resurgence of young families and young children. The last thing I want to see is have a bunch of investors coming in and buying up one-family, two-family homes and converting them into the CSLR. I heard you just before say that we have several of them within
No,
the years.
we do not. What he's talking
No,
about
no,
are
I know,
different
I'm
types of
sorry.
homes.
No, I understand, I misspoke. What I meant to say was there are other halfway house style structures within our neighborhood already. So we're just adding another one for another reason. We have one for mental health, we have one for sobriety, we have one. So at what point is there a limit to how many of these can be set up?
I don't believe there is a limit, Rob, but
Oh, that's
I
great.
do believe it, because the state's gonna do what they want to do, especially DCA. That's why I can't reiterate, and I asked, Christine's still here?
Yes, it's there.
I've officially named her the block mother for 125 Willow. But she is going to, I've asked her to actually go door to door to people who may not be aware of what's going on, blocks away, the neighborhood. Cross over to Allen, cross over down, Catalpa, Willow, Cedar, Coles, that whole section, the Fairmount section, the side area, needs to be aware of this, because those are letters that can go to the DCA, right? And I also said, that may not stop it from happening, but it can certainly help us if there's a stumble, all right? And I think it's important, when you turn around and you have 300 or 400 letters, right? Looking them in the face, to me, that's persuasive. I just feel that way. If I'm on the DCA and I got 300 or 400 people opposed to this, not saying it's not gonna happen, but, I'm thinking twice. So I think it's very, very important, and it's, just shows the community you have as well. I mean, it's, like you said, it's, the Fairmount sections have been, traditionally great family neighborhoods. They still are. They still are.
We just don't wanna see these,
Exactly.
I don't
just don't wanna
disagree.
see these things, come popping up all over the
No,
place.
I know.
And becoming
And
more
there's
infested.
other concerns. We get concerns about lowering, you've seen property values skyrocket,
Right.
right? Our property values have gone up, which is a good thing. It's money in the bank if it stays like that, correct?
Sure.
The last thing you wanna see is that go down. I don't wanna see it go down. So, I've asked Christine also to email me some vital information she has, which I think is important. And, be sharing it with the city attorney, we'll be going, reviewing that. Cause there's a lot of stuff, just in this short few minutes I looked at that she showed me, I was like, wow, which we questioned. So, alright? You got a good block on you.
I know. Well, keep it that way.
Anyone else from the public? Motion to close?
All fair.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Comments?
No comments.
No comment from Leo?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a comment. Just want to let, the public know that, first of all,
Say,
I'm working with, the city manager's office, in regards with our rec department, going over a few issues and a few things, trying to, just look into some of the issues and situations that we have there, and hopefully we can come, move forward. As you may not know, we did lose our, not director, superintendent. So, again, we're moving forward, I believe, in the right direction, trying to, solve a lot of problems that, have come about. Also, our parks have been, looked into as well, and we're gonna continue looking into them to make them a better place for our youth as well. I don't know if we mentioned tonight about our senior luncheon that's coming up, but, we do have a senior luncheon. I believe it's going to be the 30th, of this month. And again, we do have our outdoor concerts that have been tremendous. I wish everyone a good evening, get home safe and sound. Thank you.
Start off with the concerts. I don't know if any of you folks have been here, but the summer concert series this year has been outrageous. We've had great attendance. Great show last week. Tomorrow is Sounds of Philly. You guys like the Sounds of Philadelphia? I don't know if some of you younger people might not know what that is, but it's kind of like Motown. That'll be tomorrow night. They put on a great show. Good chance it might be in the Hackensack. There's a good chance it might be tomorrow afternoon. We'll play that by ear. We'll know it tomorrow. We've had record turnouts for Shakespeare in the Park, or Sunset Zumba, and all the other things. Movies Under the Stars, which are one of them, has been rescheduled. But this has been a great summer for the events, and it's good for the taxpayers to have. And we give a lot back to the taxpayers, especially this year, as far as entertainment and things to do. So very happy with that. Saw the report at Dan's Nursery. Right now we got a lot of balls in the air, a lot of paving going on, a lot of sewer work going on, a lot of park work going on, and that will continue to go on for quite a while. I want to thank Leo for, after 45 years, my street finally got paved. Thank you, Leo. I was on the list 3 years ago, he kept bumping me off. What are you doing? Anyway, appreciate that. It's all good. So with that, everybody have a wonderful rest of your week. See you back in September, right? Enjoy the rest of the summer. Don't forget, school starts soon, so look out for the kids.